Awesome. Okay, well, hello and welcome from JCC Association. This is the peer community for membership folks. I'm Joy Brand Richardson. I'm the Vice President of Professional Development and Training at JCC Association, and I use the pronouns she and her. I have shoulder-length brown hair and glasses. Today I'm wearing a flowered top. I'm coming to you from our offices in Midtown Manhattan. The main room of today's peer community is going to be recorded, and then we're going to have time in breakout rooms. Closed captioning is available if you need that. You can turn that on. And I'm joined by my colleague, Rebecca Firth, who is helping us behind the scenes with some tech support. So as we get started, we understand that there may be people who are new to their role and other people who have many years of experience. Each of us brings with us a wisdom to the conversations that we have. But there may be concepts or information that's presented that feels commonplace to some people and may feel brand new to other people. And we ask that we participate in conversations, approach each other with respect, define terms and concepts when they arise, and invite anybody to ask for clarity if you need it. At this time, I'd like to introduce you to Monica, who is the chair of the membership peer community. Monica Rosenberg-Baum is the director of member relations at Tucson and has a new title also that she will tell you about. Her full bio is on our JCC Resource Center website. And I really want to thank her for being the chair for this program. Future meetings will be announced in the briefs and on the JCC Resource Center. So Monica, why don't you unmute yourself, take it away, and we'll get started.
Thank you, Joy. It is always a pleasure, and I appreciate all of the support and the willingness of JCC Association to provide these opportunities for all of us to get together. Yes, I do have a new title. It is Senior Director of Operations. So in addition to membership, I also oversee IT and rentals and scholarships and things. As you can all relate, our multi-hat usage of a nonprofit. So being the chair of this group is such an honor and a privilege. And really, I try to draw from our field what we want to talk about when we gather. So I am on those listservs constantly. I don't always reply, but I see what's going on out there. And though our original intent was to talk about the holidays that are starting later this week, we really decided to pivot because what we are hearing more and seeing more are questions about hold policies and cancels and how to retain our members and keep them active. So I wanted to take our time today to really dig into feedback. How do we get it? How do we use it? And how can we leverage our connection and our peoplehood across JCCs all over North America to build a bridge for our membership and our communities. We are all independently owned and operated and have our own policies and structures, but where can we find those pieces that we do similar work or that we can provide the same exceptional experience for our members, whether they're traveling or moving, to make sure that they find their community at a JCC wherever they land. So in our time today, we're really going to be talking about those feedback and utilizing tools to build community. And that is outside of our walls and reaching into each other's spaces. Over the last few months, Michael from Memphis and Allison, who I'm not sure is on the call yet, from New Orleans, and I have been toying with this idea of creating a JCC passport. What would it look like to reach out to all the JCCs, not ask you to change any of your policies, but just to share them, that we can create one stop shop resource of what does reciprocity look like? How can we know who to connect with if one of our members is going on a work trip, a family vacation, or even moving to a new location? And rather than just saying, hey, look up your JCC when you get there, that we actually take the step to make that outreach call to connect them, that when they arrive at their destination, they have a friendly face that greets them and knows who they are and welcomes them into the community. So we will discuss a little bit about that today, but what other opportunities are there? How else can we take the feedback from our members and enhance our services and share ideas across agencies that we are all creating that space of wellness and whole wellness, not just their physical fitness or their early education, but really using all the facets that JCCs serve and meeting their needs and even exceeding them. How do we give them more than they even know they want? So when we go into our breakout rooms today, we are going to try to answer the following questions. And if the conversation deviates from that, please go with it. Enjoy your time together, share ideas. I will ask one person in each room to be taking notes. And we will have a facilitator in each room just to keep the conversation going. But the questions we're going to try to answer are, how do we take members' feedback to enhance our services? How do we seek feedback? How do we get those questions answered without having a conversation selling them on the next program or project? How do we just find out what they're looking for through what they are saying and what they're not saying? What are action steps that we can take to make sure that we are exceeding those expectations? How do we add value and express the value of membership to those in our community, whether they are currently members, looking into membership, or just the possible individual that can help spread the word of what the JCC does? What is your current reciprocity policy? Do you have one? Are you looking to change it? What's going on? Let's share what they are and see where we want to go. Are you interested in being part of this J Passport that we are looking to put together? And then any general topics. As far as the J Passport, it will be itself an individual piece by each JCC. So Michael, Allison, and I are going to work together to gather the information from all of you that want to be involved, create some language that is able to be used across all agencies, but then individually each JCC will be able to brand it in their brand and share it the way they want to share it, whether it lives on their website or it's a flyer they send out, or however that works in your agency for your demographic. So I do hope that I gave you a lot to ponder and think about as we move into our rooms. When we gather back at the end, we'll have a little debrief and conversation. And then I will share some resources with all of you and look forward to our future conversations. So Rebecca, we are ready to head into our rooms. Is Allison here?
I don't see Allison yet.
Okay. Is there anyone who is willing to raise their hand to help facilitate in one of the rooms? You can either use the hand raise or drop it in the chat. Just so we know we have somebody moving a conversation and can make sure you are in that room. Any takers?
Julie Rizzo.
Excellent. Thank you, Julie. So I will ask Julie in your room if you can ensure that either you are taking notes or somebody else in the room. Michael, in your room, either you or someone else, and then I will be facilitating a room. Everyone is going to be randomly selected by our friend Rebecca. So we don't know who we'll meet, but we'll see you in there.
Great, I'm about to open the rooms now.
Hi, everyone. Welcome back. So nice to see you. It's so magical when people just start coming back into the main room. It's like they appeared again. I hope you had great conversations in your breakout rooms. I'm going to let Monica and Michael and whoever else was facilitating rooms, Allison, Julie, to take it away.
Excellent. Thank you all. I know in the room I was in, we had a lot of great conversation. I would love to ask Michael if you can unmute and share a bit about what came up in your conversations and how things went in there.
I can. Out of our conversation, a great thing, Miriam suggested pivoting the passport to us each creating our own one-page PDF. And with her operations background, it's what to do before you come to her place, as well as my idea of the pictures I wanted, getting them hosted on that resource page so that I could just pop on there, pull off her PDF and email it to my member headed her way. So it's a version of what we've all been talking about, just a different version where I just create my own Windows, Word page, PDF, or whatever. And she asked about including the steps to take because she has a few particular steps where they have to create their own account. And then she follows up and does stuff there. So I liked that. About engaging with our members, I think it was Miriam who said they have an automatic 100-day email that can be replied to, a monitored box, and it comes out and says on your 100th day of membership, it's got the questions appropriate for them. And I thought that was a nice way of addressing that, seeking feedback. Because I think my software will do that. I've just never had her idea of how to use it that way. And I like that idea. So instead of me having to manage Survey Monkeys, I can probably get that programmed in as well and have it come from me and Larissa, what have you, to reply to us for a membership that's actively 100 days old. And I loved that idea versus the conversation I had with my new chair about how to really keep a survey short and meaningful. I make it more of an open-ended question. This email's from us. What are your thoughts? How are your first 100 days? Hit reply if you want to. And I like that idea. We also had quite a conversation about where do we position ourselves to be available to the members. So we had a conversation about how many of us are behind a wall, down a hallway that's not accessible, and how many of us have to counter that with taking our tours through the building, taking our walks through the building, going and seeing the spaces and walking at a pace where we're smiling and available to be stopped and tagged. And also where Jackie and them were talking about making sure you take your time to work at your front desk, because Tyler is balancing his normally positioned place at his front desk with work that doesn't go well with the distractions. So he'll just take his work away to a place where he can push it out and come back to the desk to be available for that comment with them. And I think all of us in my breakout group were struggling with one version of I'm behind a wall away and have to go out. Tyler's struggling with he's at the front desk constantly and sometimes has to take his work away. So we had some really good feedback there about balancing that.
Love that. Thank you. That does sound like a great conversation. And I think maybe some offshoot conversations that those of us weren't in the room would love to hear more about and share. So I will look for more conversation and listserv on that. Allison and Julie, I don't know who ended up kind of taking notes. Julie, could you unmute and share with us what transpired in your room?
Sure. We had some great conversations. As far as getting feedback, surveys through SurveyMonkey, focus groups, JCCA benchmarking, and comment box. So lots of different ways that the different agencies get their feedback. yearly survey. Ela and Dallas, they do it online and on paper so that those who are not quite as technologically savvy can still participate. They did some focus groups for some specific programs, and what they got out of those, which I thought was really interesting, is it sort of was able to confirm for them whether the suggestion that was being made by one member, but framing it in what we all want, X, Y, and Z, they were able to really narrow it down to say, really, this is just one or two people who want that. And then exceeding and meeting expectations, some ideas were let's get social events. And one of the things which I wholeheartly agree is in your programming is building relationships between your staff and your members. And one of our engagement goals for this fall here in Charlotte was communication. And so all of our program directors reached out to all of their course enrollees in advance, and they'll do it again in the middle and again at the end to just try to create those relationships with parents. Another great idea I thought was a resource center where they are, instead of trying to market all the programs to everybody, they are actually received a grant in Dallas to build a resource center where they will have a specific person who is sort of a concierge who will be able to, somebody walks in and they have kids, they'll be able to talk to all the different things that are available for kids, or they walk in and and I don't want to use the word senior. I know we're not trying to use that word anymore, but older adults, they can really focus and explain everything about all the different programs that they have for that demographic. Let's see what else. Member Appreciation Month is a way to value members. A couple different people do weeks or months. Different activities in a fitness center that they don't typically offer, chair massages, special classes, nutrition, specialty workshops, spinners with swag giveaway, food and drinks at a welcome desk. And then for reciprocity, it was pretty similar across the board. Most of us do 2 weeks with some form of communication from the other JCC that the members in good standing, letter, email, phone call. We talked about some of us waive a joining fee for somebody who is coming directly from a JCC in another city. Everybody was interested, or most everybody, in the passport. And that's all we got to before our time was up.
That is a lot that you did get to, so I appreciate that. Thank you. I will share some recaps of what took place in our room. A lot of similarities to what you guys discussed. We did also discuss for member feedback, there's actually, and I don't remember who it was, I apologize, a 3, a 6, and a 12-month check-in. The emails go out, just checking in. How are they liking it? What's going on? Soliciting that feedback. Here in Tucson, we actually send a handwritten thank you card to each and every new member join. And inside we have special guest passes that are called Be Our Guest for the new member to bring their friend with them and try it out. And then if their friend joins, then the member that just joined also gets a free month. We really talked about when we are emphasizing the value of the JCC membership, how we have to get our colleagues across all departments involved in that process. If someone is canceling or looking to hold, or they're graduating out of ECE and they're not sure they're going to stay, we can't wait till graduation time. We need to make sure that at the beginning, up front, throughout their whole time here, that they're engaging with so many people in all the different departments that they've built those relationships that we talk about, right? Not transactional. We talk about building relations. It's harder to say goodbye when you're friends. It's harder to move away when they've built relationships with the staff, with other community members, and they're invested. So how do we start from the day that someone joins, not just seeing our faces or the person at the front desk, but really digging deeper and getting our whole team involved? We have surveys that go out post-program, during programs, lots of evaluation. Several people in our group are doing benchmarking. I hope that most of you on this call are taking part in the benchmarking project. If you are not, or you do not know what that is, please reach out to Joy, who could give you more information, or Andy Paller at JCC Association. Benchmarking is a great tool, not only to evaluate ourselves as a JCC and get feedback from our board and our members and our users, but also to see how we're doing across the gamut of JCCs, similar size, similar location, really gauge areas that we might want to dive into deeper. The biggest takeaway that came out of our meeting was everybody in the agency is a representation of the JCC, and therefore every team member, regardless where they work, is in membership. We are all have to show up and be there and support that mission. End of the day, membership dollars drive our agency and help support the functionalities. But I believe Sharon said it best, our members are not just numbers. We are different than some of our local competitors, right? That just want the churn. As long as we have 50 members in here all the time, who cares who they are? We want to know who our members are. We want to give them what they're looking for. So I think so much good stuff has come out of this. Hopefully conversations don't end here. If you haven't connected with each other to get email addresses, please do that. Reach out, have offline conversations, bring things into the listserv. We do not have meetings scheduled for the new year at this time, I don't think. Joy, correct me if I'm wrong. We haven't calendared anything. Okay, we have not calendared anything yet, so we will start working on that. Please share your thoughts, your feelings. What types of topics do you want to cover? Is there anything pressing out there? Do you like this structure that's more just open dialogue? Would you like to see maybe someone come in and lead a session on us, you know, in a more development type of way and skill building? I am here to serve all of us in our community. I am the chair, which simply means I'm just the one speaking head to talk to JCCA, but my head should be speaking for all of us in the field. So please, please, please send me your ideas, because mine aren't always the best. And I need you guys to help me in supporting that. These sessions are recorded. And so if you've missed any before, or you have colleagues that weren't able to attend today, they are all on JCC Resource Center in the peer community, all of our recordings from our past sessions. I love the idea, and I will confirm that we can hopefully use the Resource Center to upload some of the documents to make it an easier find. And so Allison and Michael and I will continue to chat and build on the passport. Allison will send out, I'm speaking for you, Allison, but I know you will, in the listserv, once again, the link to the Google Doc, if you have not completed it, just so you can make sure your organization is included and that we know what needs to be in there. And we'll keep going. Any final thoughts, feels, something sticking with you, your strong takeaway from today? Don't all shout.
This was great for me, for what it's worth. I actually was not in Julie's room after all. I was in Michael's room. But honestly, just getting to hear that we struggle, we have the same struggles and a lot of the same wins, and what's winning for someone can really be used elsewhere. And I will say, I think Michael and I are in agreement, Monica, that we'd like to conscript Miriam into our passport committee, because
The more the merrier.
She gave her idea, and we're like, that's what we were looking for. So thank you to everyone. I appreciate these a lot.
Excellent. Well, I thank you all again. It really has been amazing. There are other peer communities out here and functioning similarly to ours. So please, if you find value in these, share it with your colleagues that they should check out theirs. Also, just because you're in membership doesn't mean you can't go to another one. If a topic speaks to you or you're interested, please join other groups. The more that we work, again, creating this peoplehood and this landscape of Jewish life in North America through the lens of JCC Association, the stronger that we'll all be together. So thank you, Joy. Thank you, Rebecca, for your support and help today. And Joy, I will leave it to you to close us out.
Thank you. Thank you, Monica,
Thank
for
you.
taking the lead. We really appreciate everything that you do to put this together. And Happy New Year, everyone, for those who are celebrating, and luck with your fall programming and getting everything out there for the start of the new calendar year for you all. And take care. Thanks so much.
Thank you. Thank you.